The teachers that feel like they can wear whatever they want to wear to work. Yes, I'm talking about Teacherbae. I'm going to call her Miss Williams because you a teacher. I'm going to call you Miss Williams. And all the other teachers that feel like they can wear that type of stuff to work. I did see a lot of women talking about this, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot of men talking about this. So hopefully y'all get a different perspective from a man and how little boys will think. I'm going to just say this now. Y'all are straight up weird. Y'all get on this app talking about how a lot of men are PDF people. A lot of women are PDF people too. You know that them boys are staring at your backside. You know this. You know that them boys are fantasizing about you. That's weird because you keep putting on these outfits that allow them to have these type of fantasies. And you do it on purpose. You know that this stuff is happening. And I would probably excuse you if you were an elementary school teacher, maybe elementary school, but you definitely look like a middle school or high school teacher. Those boys are fantasizing about you. Then you might say, well, I can't control how my body looks. And you're right. But that teacher got a BBL. And first off, getting a BBL as a teacher is crazy. But you might not be able to control the way your body looks, but you can definitely control the clothes that you put on. And you're doing this on purpose. I know you're doing this on purpose. I think you get aroused knowing these little boys are fantasizing about you. And it's not even the boys, it's the girls too. You are imprinting on these little girls as well. I seen a post about this lady. She was saying that some teachers still feel like they're in high school and there's competition with some of the girls. This is one of those cases. Like, don't you feel weird that little boys are fantasizing about you? Like that would make me feel, bro, I don't know. That's crazy. You know these boys are fantasizing about you. Yet you still come to work with these tight clothes on. You still come to work showing off your BBL. And I don't know. Like, we put women on a different pedestal when it comes to PDF, but man, we down here. Women, y'all up here, y'all could get away with so much stuff, but y'all are, man, hey. The last thing I want to say is that this problem does not happen on the collegiate level. I've seen this discourse happen on elementary, middle school, high school, but never college. Never college professors, they aren't wearing those type of clothing. And why? The students are older. Why don't you wear this type of clothing? Because they know it's unprofessional. How do they know this, but y'all don't know this? Y'all are weird. Let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all stay positive.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And I just wanted to start the video with old boy's testimony because I thought he did a pretty good job. But we really about to cook Teacherbae up because Teacherbae is just an entry to a way bigger problem. And that way bigger problem is, especially since COVID, really before that, but especially since COVID, for those of you who've been subscribed here for a while, you know I've been all about calling out the female pedos, all about calling out women's weird sexual behavior. And the reason I started doing that is because we always talk about men being weird and men being PDF files and all this stuff, and that's fine. We need to call them out, but we don't talk about the R. Shelleys. We talk about the R. Kellys too much, but we don't talk about the R. Shelleys and how many female pedos there are. Because we talk all the time about how 75% of women, right, have been touched or raped, right, as young adults. Now, there's a lot of men who have too. But the problem is people make men feel like they should be happy when an older woman is sleeping with them because they should just be happy someone is sleeping with them, which is disgusting and not true. And it ruins young boys in multiple ways, which we'll get into later. You know, you want to know why a lot of these dudes lack emotional intelligence or don't see women as human beings? It's because they were 10 years old and their babysitter who was like 18 was sleeping with them. So of course they don't see women as human beings. Of course they sexualize them all the time, but that's neither here nor there. Since COVID, we've seen more and more stories coming out of these teachers sleeping with students. These influencers are messing around with young guys. And it's becoming a big issue. It's becoming a huge issue, and Teacherbae is part of that problem too. But we're going to get back to Teacherbae in a second. I want to show you guys a clip really quick from an older video I did on this similar topic, just so I can kind of paint a picture for you guys more really fast on why this is a bigger issue than people are making it out to be. And then we're going to come back. We're going to get into Teacherbae. So just watch this really quick, and we'll be back.
Having fun? Fun enough to see titties. You want to see titties? Bottles up. Let's make sure my boy ain't in here.
Yeah.
TikTok famous LaGrange woman has been arrested after warrants were issued by the Pike County Sheriff's Office.
All right, you ready? Oh my God. He's like, no, I'm in charge. He's a right. He's seeing my titties.
With a lot of beads and are that it's not the
They
first.
see it often. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Along with other things, yes.
But being at like a mudding event and being in your personal pool without their parents there is the difference there. So, I mean, you know, it's
Nonetheless, it's to say anything about these kids and their parents and how they're raised. If that's not, I'm not doing that.
yeah. I mean, of her, Nina Mobina.
A Lehigh mom accused of smoking weed and then sharing porn with a group of young boys and girls.
Chris Jones is on this story for us tonight. And Chris, this story has really rocked a very tight-knit community of Traverse Mountain.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the people who live up here say that Nina Olson seemed like the perfect friend, but they say once they got to know her, they realized she was anything but.
Nina had become an instant best friend to us.
Nina Olson was eager, almost too eager, these moms say, to integrate herself into their lives.
I've never seen someone want to be my friend so much.
These parents who asked not to be identified say they now know why she was so friendly. They think Olson was grooming their children.
Almost living vicariously through 15 and 16-year-old children.
Olson, who has a teenage son, was hosting sleepovers and becoming close to several 15 and 16-year-olds. About that same time, these moms say their kids were just acting differently.
I was just trying to figure out why my son was acting a little bit confrontational.
So she took her son's phone and in the Instagram app uncovered hundreds of direct messages between Olson and 8 young teens.
She had sent pictures of minors' breasts. She told them things like they're hot, they're good looking, talked about very inappropriate sexual things that you could do in the bedroom.
Police began to investigate and say in addition to the messages, Olson even smoked pot and gave alcohol to some of the boys. These moms believe Olson was also acting as a sort of a pimp for the teenagers.
I think we counted at least 7 girls' names that were mentioned that she was trying to line our 15 and 16-year-old children up with.
These are kids that were taken advantage of.
Tonight, these parents are trying to get their kids back to normal and hoping Olson will get punished for forcing their kids to grow up too fast.
She's a creep and she deserves everything that is coming her way.
So Olson was officially charged today with 8 felony counts, including charges of enticing, also including charges of sharing harmful material with young children. Guys,
She did the same thing. She was taking pictures to teenagers, and sending them pictures of her upper parts.
I know what she.
And I mean, I personally believe that she got off very light.
Ayanna Davis, a substitute teacher at Lakeland High School, is now out of a job facing serious charges. She's accused of having sex with one of her male students, who deputies say is 16 years old or younger.
If you're a teacher, you're supposed to teach. You're not supposed to be getting involved with the students like that.
The investigation began back on December 3rd when a student told a school resource officer about a video on Snapchat showing Davis and another student having sex. According to the affidavit, the male victim sent the video to a large number of Lakeland High School football players. When investigators interviewed Davis, she admitted she and the male student had sex at least 4 times, twice at her home and twice at the student's home, while his parents were asleep upstairs.
Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Did you burn through your last 5 brain cells? So she's locked up in the county jail, and I anticipate that's where she'll spend Christmas, eating turkey off of a loaf.
When investigators confronted the victim, he initially denied ever having sex with Davis before admitting the two had sex 4 times. In interviews, he says he initiated the relationship when he randomly walked up to her one day. He tells police at first the two just liked each other, but says the relationship turned sexual on October 10th after a football game. As of right now, police are still working to track down a copy of this Snapchat video.
We certainly would like for someone to turn it over to us. We know there are copies out there, but they deny it. However, we've talked to multiple witnesses that saw it. So we believe our witnesses.
In a statement, Polk County School Superintendent Frederick Hyde says in part, quote, "We expect substitute teachers to uphold the same high standards of conduct and professionalism as our full-time educators." Going on to say the charges against this person are disgraceful and a complete violation of the trust that teachers build with their students.
All right, so now that you guys have seen that, you have a little bit of a clearer understanding of why this Teacherbae thing is a bigger deal than people are making it. You know, now some of you are going to say, oh, Alex, that's the extreme. You know, she's not flashing anyone. She hasn't slept with anyone to our knowledge. And she's not showing anyone prawn. But here's the difference. What's really the difference if you really think about this? And like I said, I'm a boy, so I know how boys think. Similar to what the other dude said. A mother is showing young boys prawn. And Teacherbae going to class in outfits that very clearly insinuate her body. I'm tired of women playing dumb. You know, women know what they're wearing. Women spend hours in the mirror. They know what they're wearing. They know when they're showing off their breasts, when they're showing off their boobs. If anything is hanging out, they're aware. They're very strategic, right? So she's purposely wearing things that insinuate her body, mainly her backside. She has a whole video online, guys, where she's writing on the board from the back. Why would you ever post a video like that if you don't want people looking at it, but just jiggling? And why would you watch that video and say, when I teach, I see my own butt jiggling. I posted this online. The entire conversation is about how my butt's jiggling. Let me not wear this around my students. Instead of saying, let me turn this up. Let me keep this up. Because that's what she wants. That's clearly what she wants, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, here's the thing. This is what I mean when I say women know what they're wearing. I want you guys to look at these two teachers and how they dress when they go to class. Now, y'all see how those two teachers dressed? One of them had on, we don't know if she's thick or not because she covered her butt. Like back when I was in high school, if women were going to wear leggings, they had to cover their butt. So they had to wear like a really long hoodie or like a really long like hoodie dress or something like that because they had to cover their backside. They kind of got rid of that nowadays, but that's the way it used to be. And that's what the first teacher did. So with her situation, it's like, okay, whether she has a butt or not, we don't know because she covered it, as you should. The second teacher just wore an oversized sweater and some jeans. And she still looks cute, you know? But she didn't. I pointed those out just to show you guys. If a woman wants to look regular, if she doesn't want you to know she's thick or whatever the case may be, it is not a hard thing for them to do. I don't give a damn what type of body you have. Everyone knows Teacherbae's body because Teacherbae wants everyone to know her body. Now, some people are going to go back to, oh, you know, how do you know she's a 304? Well, peep this. Now, that pretty much removes all doubt that Teacherbae is a 304. My thing is this, okay? I don't even care about her being a 304. I wouldn't even have a problem with it. But again, when you're going to school dressed like that, people already know what you are. People were trying so hard. Oh, you don't know. Just because she has a body like that doesn't mean she's a 304. Again, her whole presence, you can tell. So when you go dressed like that, people go looking for things. And of course, it comes out that she has all that stuff on the internet. So she probably used to be, it's not too hard to tell the Teacherbae story. I can tell it to you guys right now pretty much. She probably used to be a stripper or an escort or a dancer or something. It didn't work out for her. So as a result, she was like, okay, I got to come up with something else. She got her little Florida State degree, which I don't know how she got a Florida State degree. She even said when you're Teacherbae. She said it like Y-O-U-R when it's supposed to be Y-O-U''RE. So she doesn't even know how to spell. And she teaches grammar, but I digress. Florida State's about football anyway. I don't know how their education is there. Not all the Seminoles going to be mad at me. But I digress. Either way, Whatever she was trying to do with the whole stripper thing, escort thing, it very clearly didn't work out. And you could tell this anyway, because you could just tell by the stuff she wears. She has like designer bags and all this shit. You can't get that being a teacher. Everybody knows teachers don't make money. Everybody knows this. Like, it's not a hidden thing. So clearly she had another life. That life didn't work out, right? So now she's doing the teaching thing. The teaching thing is a cover-up. Why do you say that, Alex? Simple. If she was to just go online posting herself in the outfits and stuff that she's wearing with the body that she has, she'd just be another IG model, another 304. Like, there would be nothing to make her stand out. Again, she tried this before. Now you have evidence. She tried this before. It didn't work, right? So I have to try something different. Making yourself a teacher and still looking like that makes you stand out. This is why every time you see her photos and her videos, she's always at the school. Without the school, it doesn't pop. But when you have the school, you know, you have the school bus in the background. Like I don't see how y'all don't see that this is weird, but I digress. You got the school bus in the background, right? You got the whiteboard, and you in the hallways acting like you looking for your kids to come to class. They know what class they supposed to be in. They don't need you in the hallway looking for them. But I digress. When you're doing all that, it adds an extra element and an extra aesthetic to your quote unquote beauty. Now everybody wants to talk about how you're a fine teacher. Without the teacher, it doesn't matter. You don't go viral without the teacher part. You need the teacher part. So the whole objective here in what she's trying to do is, okay, I'm going to go viral with this whole Teacherbae thing and insinuate my curves and all that. Somebody's rich or trick daddy is going to eventually come and take me out of this situation. That's what she's going for. That's why you don't see her just normally outside wearing this stuff. Because the thing is this, you could be a teacher, dress normal, right? Dress normal, and literally just go on your free time and post these, wear those types of outfits and post those types of videos. But she can't do that. She tried that. You don't pop that way. You need the sexy teacher forbidden fruit angle to make you pop. That is weird in itself. The fact that you being a teacher and a baddie draws people to you is weird in and of itself. But even deeper than that is you're putting the kids in an odd situation. Again, she knows what she's doing. She knows when she wears these outfits, she's going to go viral. That's why she's doing it, which means she knows she looks good in these outfits in a sexual manner. So why would you choose to wear these outfits that you know you look good in a sexual manner around minors? I really hate this. Then you got the stupid women who run around and say, well, why don't we teach our sons not to sexualize women? First of all, when your teacher is twerking in a thong in her free time, don't talk to me about talking to boys about sexualizing women. Talk to women about not sexualizing themselves. That's number one. Number two, and even deeper than that, a woman shouldn't be sexualizing herself around anyone's son for there to even be a conversation about it. And then number three, y'all not even thinking about the little girls. In all her videos, she stands outside the classroom. A little girl comes up to her and saying, "Oh, how you doing, Teacherbae? You looking good?" And then she makes some little stupid pose or whatever the case may be. So again, she's very alert of what she's doing. The little girls are coming up to her and saying, "You look bad, Teacherbae." They're the ones who did it. So she's very aware of what she's doing. She's posing for them though. But here's the problem. This former stripper who has videos of her butt online is basically teaching your daughters, hey, you can be as smart as you want to be, but you're not going to get any attention for being smart. So if you want to get attention, you need to be out here dressed like a 304 like me. This is essentially what she's telling your daughters. So it's not even just about the boys. You shouldn't want this hoe around your daughters either. Why would you want a woman to think I can go and get educated and become a teacher and I still have to go online and shake my bare rump to get any type of attention? You shouldn't want her around your daughters either. She's grooming them too. There's a video, as a matter of fact, I'm going to post that right now. Hang on.
Please sit down. If you stand ready, you ain't got to get ready. Your brothers ain't got ready. We can't do tripping, y'all can't do sipping. Please sit down.
Have several seats.
Now, in that video, what y'all just seen is she used to coach cheerleading. And when she was coaching cheerleading, she was smoking around the girls. So now you got someone who smokes around children, dresses in a sexual manner around children, and twerks bare behind in her free time. And we're still defending this chick? She has no business in the school. That's just the reality of the situation. She has no business in the school. That's it. There shouldn't be no back and forth. There shouldn't be no back and forth. And the only reason there's a back and forth is because of many of you legitimately refuse to believe that women can be creeps and pedos. Even though women, I would argue honestly in a lot of ways that they're even worse than the dudes, and it just doesn't get talked about enough because of the shame that goes along with being a guy, and even trying to say in general society that you felt violated or taken advantage of by a woman and having to deal with everyone telling you that you should be happy, right? But even deeper than that, y'all really don't understand how freaked out the minds of a lot of females are. Y'all really think they just these super sweet, innocent, skipping around, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di ass chicks. They're not. They're nasty as hell. Like, if this video doesn't tell you or explain to you or open your eyes to how nasty a lot of these chicks are and the nasty things that they think they will do, then I don't know what to tell you at this point. I don't know what to tell you. But it's just funny to me that everyone it was mostly guys. There was a few women, but it was mostly guys calling out Teacherbae. Everybody's all like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. She's not this and she's not that. And everything we said is right. She's using kids in the school to get attention, to go viral, to hopefully find someone to save her. And it's not right and it shouldn't be happening. It's not a good image for your daughters. It's not a good image for your sons to see. They can't even focus. Her big ass is in their face, jiggling around everywhere, and she's doing it on purpose. Come on, man. Like, yo, I'll end with this. There was one time, and this is on the screen right now. There was one time a teacher posted on Twitter. She said, do you think my kids are looking at my butt? First of all, if you have to post, do you think the kids are looking at my butt? That tells me two things. One, you know they're looking at your butt. Two, you wore something that you knew would draw attention to your butt, which further cements everything I said early in the video about how these women know what they're doing. But I digress. I want you guys to look closely at the fact that one, she has on see-through leggings, and not only that, but two, she has on SpongeBob SquarePants underwear. Who goes to a school to teach kids in one, see-through leggings, and two, with SpongeBob SquarePants underwear on? Let it breathe, run it back. Who goes to a school to, one, teach kids in see-through leggings, and two, have on SpongeBob SquarePants underwear? All right, look, y'all stay asleep if y'all want to. The best gyms come for those who stay to the end. Y'all stay asleep if y'all want to. But if I was you, man, and you have a son, you better start watching these girls around your kids, man. Especially these young girls. Like when I was in school, we had old teachers. We wasn't worried about being cute. You guys got to think about the mindset of a woman even going to school with the intention to be cute anyway. Who you getting cute for? But I digress, man. As my thoughts on that, I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.